As stated earlier, we will have an opportunity to talk with the commissioner here at the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Duer Sharp. Now joins us on the call. Good morning, Commissioner Sharp. Are you with us?
Yes. Good morning, Josh. How you doing?
Good, Coach. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Good, Commissioner. If you could just open us up with an opening statement. Following that, we will take questions. Thanks.
Well, I'd just like to say good morning to all the media. Excuse me. Here at Grambling today, visiting with the leadership and the coaching staff, and taking a tour of the facilities, and really just trying to assist President Pogue and AD James and the coaches and the team just to come to some type of resolution and move forward as a conference. I know we were front page news from seemed like from Wednesday on last week, so definitely had enough of the negative. So we're just trying to move forward with some positives in the office, trying to get ready for a cross country championship. We have a nationally televised game, the Magic City Classic, Alabama State versus Alabama A&M, and of course getting ready for a SWAC football championship December 7th in Houston. So it's been very busy, and but again, us here in the conference office, we're going to do our jobs and work hard for the schools, and wherever we can go to lend support, that's what we're going to do, and that's why I'm here at Grambling today. So that's my opening statement.
All right, the floor is now open for questions for SWAC Commissioner Duer Sharp.
Well, I couldn't hear. Who am I talking to?
Rashad, TSPN Sports.
And then what was the question? Because you were talking the same time as Jasher, so I missed half of your question.
I was asking with respect to the boycott and the I believe you reported that there would be a $20,000 fine levied against Grambling. I'm asking, will any further action take place with respect to the position that Jackson State was in by this being a conference game? Are there any plans, or is anything in place that might be implemented going forward in terms of future games and in terms of how they may be played in future years and so forth, since they missed out on this game?
Well, one, we have yet to find Grambling State. I know there's been some misreports out there stating that there's been a $20,000 fine, but we haven't found anyone yet. I have been in contact and talking with the leadership at Jackson State, and I think what's going to possibly take place is there's going to be some discussion amongst the two institutions and see if some type of resolution can be made moving forward. In our bylaws, there are fines and there's penalties for not playing a conference game, and then there also is language that leaves, a fine or penalty up to my discretion. In regards to the Jackson State's actions that they have, I think there are also bylaws that cover that also, but I'm quite sure, Jackson State is sitting down with their legal counsel, and I'm quite sure they'll be discussing moving forward with the legal counsel here at Grambling and President Pogue. But I'm quite sure moving forward, both schools should be able to come to some type of resolution.
Do we have any more questions for Commissioner Sharp?
Hi, Commissioner. This is Roz Dumlau. I'm the Jackson State beat reporter at the Clarion Ledger. My question is there a timeline on when Jackson State, and I know you said there was going to be discussions between Grambling and Jackson State. Is there a timeline or a deadline, I guess, on when they would come to a conclusion? I guess just for us to have it on our radar.
No, I don't think there's any timeline. When something like this happens, I just think you want to be thorough, and I think the discussions need to be very in-depth and make sure that everyone leaves that discussion in that session, satisfied with the outcome. So right now, I wouldn't put a time frame on anything moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Is the conference doing, I know you said that, again, there were discussions between Grambling and JSU. Is the conference doing anything to help Jackson State kind of recoup from the financial losses it had this weekend?
There's not really much we can do about that. These are, again, this is something that's never happened before. I think we will sit down and, act as a mediator between both Jackson State and Grambling to see if we can come to some type of resolution. And hopefully, between President Pogue and President Myers and Dr. Fuller, the AD there, and Aaron James, the AD here, we can come to some type of resolution. But, again, we're here to assist, and you don't want to see this become, more than what it has already become. And so we'll do all that we can to make sure moving forward that things are, kind of taken care of quickly. But again, we don't have a timetable. On my way back from Grambling today, I will stop at Jackson State, and I will sit in with Dr. Fuller, and we'll start discussions there.
When will you be in Jackson State?
I'm not really sure. Depending on traffic, I'm driving. So, again, as soon as I get finished here, of course, you have to head back through Jackson to get to Birmingham. So I will stop by the athletics facility there and talk to the leadership there, Dr. Fuller, and start the discussions and see what we can do.
Commissioner, this is Ken Rashad again. Have you, by chance, had any communication with the NCAA regarding the Grambling boycott? Have you had any feedback from them regarding all of this?
No, not at all. I think, again, at that point when it's a conference issue, the NCAA pretty much just leaves it up to the conference to you have bylaws and you have rules that, govern such things. You never think you're going to have to use them, but I'm quite sure I'll be in contact with President, the NCAA President Emmert, pretty soon, probably on my way back from Grambling today. But as of right now, no, I have not talked to anyone at the NCAA.
Do we have any more questions for SWAC Commissioner Duer Sharp?
Commissioner, what was kind of how involved were you guys when everything was happening at Grambling and just trying to figure out if there was still going to be a game? I know you guys were busy with the championship seasons of the fall coming around, but how in tune were you to what was happening in Grambling and, if the game was going to happen on Saturday?
We weren't really involved. I had talked with the leadership at Grambling early Friday morning, probably around 11 a.m., and at that time they thought that the team was going to get on the bus and travel to Jackson. It was probably not until about 5:30, 5:45, when I discovered that I was informed that they had not gotten on the bus and there possibly was not going to be a game.
Mm.
Do we have any more questions for Commissioner Sharp? Commissioner, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us today. Anything else you'd like to add before you leave?
No, again, just like to thank everyone. I had a chance to sit down with Coach Winston here and actually sat in on he was actually on the call. So, again, man, just like to thank the media for covering SWAC, and unfortunately it's under certain circumstances, but again, we're just going to continue to try to move forward as a conference. So again, that's it for me.
All right, thank you very much. That's Southwestern Athletic Conference Commissioner Duer Sharp here joining us on the Football Coaches Teleconference. Thanks for your time, Commissioner.
All right, thank you, Jason.
All right, thanks a lot.